Welcome to Morrison Madness. So, a few weeks ago, we did, maybe it's been longer than that, I can't remember now. We talked about your wedding ring.
Yeah, we had a lot of views on that wedding ring.
Right. Well, and then we had some people, because we always say, if you have suggestions about stuff that we should talk about, if you're following us on any of the social medias, let us know. And we had a few people say, what about the proposal?
Right.
So, with it being after Valentine's Day, a lot of people get engaged on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
We thought that we would do an episode about the proposal.
Sure.
So, we had the ring, right?
We did.
After the nightmare of dealing with all of that.
Right.
Right? And then...
And that, we got the ring and all of that in, March, right? If I remember right?
February, I think. Pretty sure.
I thought it was the first... No, maybe it was February. Because I remember it was close to prime time. Or not prime time. Iowa Live at work. Which is when high school students would come and stay.
Yeah.
At the university. And that was usually in February. You're right. It was the end of February. Maybe
pretty sure it was
February. End of February, beginning of March. But yeah. So, anyway, February. Okay, fine.
So we had the ring.
Yeah.
Brought it home.
Yep.
Put it in a safe.
Yes.
And there it sat.
Yes.
And there it sat.
Yep.
And there it sat.
Yep.
And then people started asking us, because people had heard the story about the ring, and they knew that we had the ring, and then she wasn't wearing the ring. So then people started asking, when are you going to ask her? I said, when the time's right, I'll ask her. I said, the ring's not going to be a surprise. She knows what the ring is, so
right.
I kind of would like it to be a surprise. I'd like it to be a big deal.
Right.
And nobody, you hadn't been proposed to before?
No.
So,
You're going to make it memorable?
I need to set the bar high.
Are you worried somebody else is going to propose to me?
Maybe. So, we were at the kids' thing at school. They were in elementary school.
There's a story before that, though. So I was at a conference.
Oh, I thought that happened, the carnival happened the week before.
No.
No?
No. Well.
Yeah, it did.
No. It was that same day.
No, because the day was the can thing.
Both.
Really?
Yeah. It was a busy day.
Okay. So, okay.
It was a really busy day. I had been at a conference for my job.
I spend all this time planning this proposal, right? I know where it's going to happen. My kids are going to be there. My mom's going to be there. All of this stuff all set up. And Lachelle goes out of town for a conference for work. And then this is set up on a specific day. It's set up on a Saturday night. And she's supposed to be back
Saturday morning.
Right. And she has actually a karaoke show to run.
Saturday night.
And she keeps telling me that she's going to stay an extra day at this conference and that I'm going to have to run this karaoke show.
Because my boss was saying that he wanted to stay the extra day. So our whole program, it was an honors conference, and I worked for an honors program, and our whole department, so there's 5 of us, were at this conference together. And the overall boss was saying, I think we should stay for the last day, which originally when we went, because we all drove up in a van together, the plan was we were coming back Saturday morning.
Right. So I'm freaking out with her over the phone
on Friday.
Right. And through messaging.
Yeah.
Right.
And no, I have to get home. I have to convince my boss that we have to come home.
And I keep telling her that I don't want to run this karaoke show by myself, that I can't do it.
Yes, and I'm like, what do you mean you can't do it? You've run so many shows with me so far. You would be fine at running it yourself. It's not that hard. It may feel a little weird that I'm not there, but you'll be fine. Why are you stressed out about this? Quit making such a big deal of it. Yes.
So then Saturday morning, she finally tells me that they're on their way back. And I'm like...
Because we literally went to breakfast, and then we were supposed to go to sessions after breakfast. And at breakfast, my main boss was like, yes, I changed my mind. We're just going to go home after breakfast.
And I'm like, okay, well, thank God. And I explained to her that we're at this can something or other where kids build art things out of cans of food. So people,
No, you weren't at it. You were we were going to go to it as soon as I got
you met
home.
me there. Yeah, I was there with the kids and you met me there.
Oh, okay. I didn't think so, but okay.
Yeah, because I had to be there early enough.
I thought you went and then you came back and we went together.
No.
Okay. That could be.
Yeah, you met me out there. Anyway, one of my kids came up with the idea for that particular year for the one that they were going to build, and they ended up winning.
Right, and this is where construction is where they...
That's what it's called, construction. People donate cans of food to them, and then they build something out of it. Right.
And your son designed the sculpture for the canned food that was done. So they specifically ask for specific types of food to build the structure because of the colors that are needed on the can. So, yeah, he had designed it.
Right.
And
so
they won.
So we had that in the morning, and then that night was the school carnival.
Yeah.
Right? And so we had to go to the school carnival.
The late afternoon was the elementary school carnival.
Right. And so...
As we're walking into the school carnival, one of your friends comes up.
Deb, yep.
And says, Don, when are you going to put a ring on that?
And you proceeded to tell her, well, we got the ring. We picked it up in February, and ever since we've had it, it's in the safe.
He's not going to do it. He's changed his mind.
I'm just like, yep, it's at home in the safe. So that night, we get to the karaoke show.
Before the karaoke show, though, because I had been at this conference, and it had been a busy conference, and then I get tired every time I'm on a road trip anyway, and it was a couple hours, 3 hours away, something like that. And so then I was tired. When I got home, we immediately went to construction, and then we immediately went to the carnival. I even tried to tell you, can you just run the karaoke show yourself tonight? Do I really have to go? I'm really tired. I don't really want to go tonight. Can we please not go? Can you just run it by yourself? And you were like, no, there's no way I can do this by myself.
Well, and I also told you that my mom was going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. You were like, Mom finally said she can make it to one of our shows. She's going to be there. She wants to see you. So I said, okay, fine. And I even remember I was like, I'm just throwing this on. Like usually I would dress up more and get more prepared and look nicer for a karaoke show. And this one I feel like I didn't even put makeup on. I put my hair in a ponytail. Like I didn't care.
So we get there and I make sure that my mom and the kids have a good seat up front so they can see and it's nice and close. And I give Devin my camera and I explain to him how it works, right? So he can videotape the whole thing. And within a half an hour of the karaoke show starting, the place is packed.
Yes, and there was a huge storm outside.
That's as busy as I had ever seen this place. And it's a long, narrow place, and it's completely full. And we're up on this little stage, right at the one end.
Yep.
And so I kept waiting for the perfect time. And even at one point, my mom came up and she was like, when are you going to do this? You need to hurry up and do this. I need to get these kids home. They were still young,
right?
Especially Grace.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to do it soon. I'm going to do it soon. So at one point, this girl all the way in the back, clear up by the front door, right? You announced her name.
And before this, your mom's comment, that reminds me, I remember you being like extra giddy and silly with people that night.
Oh, I kept going up to the bar and doing shots with Christian.
Yes, and I was like, what is it? Well, like what? No wonder you couldn't run a show. You can't sit still tonight. Like I remember thinking that night. I was like, what has gotten into you? Okay, so anyway, so you were acting weird.
So she starts from the thing, and because it's so packed,
yeah,
I can tell it's going to take her a while. Like she's having to say, "Excuse me," kind of like in a movie theater or whatever, "Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me." She's trying to work her way up front, so we have just dead time.
Right.
Right, and it's going to be quite a bit of dead time.
Yes.
So I pick up the microphone and I just start talking into the microphone.
Right.
And you were oblivious to everything that I'm saying.
Yes.
And I literally
was queuing up the next people and figuring, and a whole bunch of people had signed up that hadn't entered yet, and so I was entering them into the queue, so we were ready for stuff. And
I'm literally explaining how we dated for 8-9 months and we broke up because I thought you were going to leave and go to school somewhere else. And then I may have even thrown in there that you were dating some asshole and talked about, us, the different things about trying to get back together. with you about buying the pot roast or the prime rib
Right.
to make you for your birthday, and then you had the flu.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I talked about all of that stuff to the point where she finally makes it up to the stage and she's just standing there.
Right.
Right, waiting for me to finish.
Right.
And then I hear...
By this time, I start realizing you're actually talking about us, and she's there ready to go, and you're still talking. And I'm like, why are you telling everybody our life story? Like,
But
this
you
is
were
weird.
only halfway paying
Kind
attention
of.
because you were still putting stuff in the computer.
Right.
Because Jenny, who was sitting in the thing...
one of the front tables.
Right, she goes...
she's like 18. She's young.
Right, she goes... Oh my God, is this really happening? Is he really going to ask her?
She goes, oh my God, is this really happening? I've never seen this before in person.
Right.
And at that point, I kind of look and went, oh shit, this might be what's going on.
So I said, so I have my mom here, my kids are here, all of you guys are here, so I would like to take this opportunity. And I turn around and I get down on one knee and I bring the ring out,
Right.
and I said, will you marry me? And you pushed the microphone down and said yes. So right behind the front row of people, I hear somebody go,
What did she say?
what'd she say? And then people in the back are saying, what'd she say, right? And so Jenny's table being right up front,
See,
Jenny's
and
like...
I remember hearing, like, from the back, somebody saying, what'd she say? And then you'd hear, what'd she say? What'd she say? What'd she say? What'd she say? All the way up towards the front, towards us.
Yes, that's what I meant.
And then in
Jenny...
the reverse order...
Yes, starting at Jenny's table,
Right.
somebody... I don't know if it was her or her mom, but they
Somebody
turned
said,
and they
she
were
said
like...
yes, she said yes, she
Yes.
said yes, and you would just hear this ripple through the back of to the back of the bar, which is actually the front door, but yes, so then, yeah, it was kind of funny. I didn't purposely push the microphone out of the way. I wanted to give you a kiss, and the microphone was in the way. I didn't think about the fact that I needed to say anything into the microphone at the time because I was still
Well, I literally,
surprised.
like I said, into the microphone, I'm like, will you marry me? And I put the
And you got to-
microphone
yeah, and you got down
up to
on
your
one
face.
knee.
Yeah, and then you just like pushed it
Yes.
out of the way and leaned in for the kiss.
Yes.
And then you turn back to the computer. And I'm sitting there up on my knee with the ring, and I go,
Did I
"Do you-"
really?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
I go, do you not want to wear the ring? You go, yes, sorry. And I go,
Wait.
on...
So for people that are actually listening on a podcast, they can't see this on the video.
Right.
So I say yes, and I hold out my hand.
Correct.
But I held out my right hand.
And I looked at you and I go, on that hand? And you go, oh, no. And then you stuck out the other hand.
Then I held out my left hand.
And so then at that point, I got up and I gave the microphone to the girl, right? And she's still standing at the bottom of the stage, and she lifts the microphone up and she goes, I have to follow that?
And I apologize profusely to her for that.
And Devin completely forgot all about the video.
Yes.
Thank goodness Christian was paying attention, and he got some pictures. I don't think he got any video, but he got some pictures. So
No, right. Yeah, he got some pictures. So we do have pictures of you proposing.
to a packed house.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the proposal side of things. It still wasn't very much a surprise. So it was, I think it was extra fun in the fact that we were at karaoke, which is something we love to do together.
Yes.
And this was before we even had started our own company doing karaoke.
There's a giant, like 12-foot tall Budweiser Clydesdale.
Yes. Yes, because in our images, in our photos that we have of you proposing, I can't remember if it's I feel like it was the butt of
Yeah.
the horse right behind us.
Yep.
The way that they pushed the horse that day. And it's a life-size...
And the angle that Christian was from the bar
Right.
taking the picture.
And it's a life-sized statue type thing, plastic horse. But yes, there's a horse's butt directly behind us.
There's a horse's butt in the picture, and it's not me. Not that I can't be, not that I haven't been. In this particular photo, I was not the horse's ass.
And I just remember thinking, I didn't dress up tonight. Of all the nights that I do shows that I usually dress up. Because I would even, at that time, I had extra time usually. We weren't running crazy like we do right now. And I would put on fake eyelashes and that kind of stuff. And I didn't do any of that. Like, I feel like my hair was in a ponytail. Like, it was, yeah.
Oh, you looked beautiful to me, baby.
Aw, you're so sweet. So I remember thinking about that, though, afterwards. But it was definitely a surprise. I had no idea that it was coming that night.
Yeah, and I didn't have to I didn't spend a ton of money.
No, right.
But I wanted it to be a surprise. I wanted it to be something you would remember. So.
Right. It was definitely memorable.
Good.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed that little story. If you have questions about it, we're happy to go into more detail, but we don't have a lot of time on the podcast to explain every little detail of everything.
Yeah. But we're happy to share stories or anecdotes or what have you if you're curious, want more information, things along those lines, definitely let us know. You can always find us on Facebook and Instagram at morrison.madness. On Twitter, we just recently created a Twitter account. It's backwards, so it's Madness Morrison.
Right.
All one word. I couldn't get it the other way. So that one's backwards. You can also email us at morrisonmadnessmoments@gmail.com, or you can check out our website at Morrison-Madness, I think, .wordpress.com, something along those lines. If you search for it, it should come up. And it should be in the link on the podcast or the YouTube video if that's what you're watching.
And again, if you have suggestions, because this was a suggestion from somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, we love, taking your guys' suggestions and so if you've been at something.
And so.
And then the fact that, right after we got engaged, right? Christian posted it and he shared it to us on Facebook. So then, you shared it.
Right.
And I shared it. And then, so all of our friends who had been at the carnival were like,
right.
Don, we asked you about this tonight, earlier.
Right. We just asked you about that earlier that day. And it's like, yeah, you almost gave it away.
I don't know what's going on with my throat here. I apologize.
It's okay.
Yeah, so that was the proposal. And the best part was right behind us in this particular place where we were running these karaoke shows. Thing that happened and when we were there. And you'd love to hear about it.
Right. Right. Yeah. We this is why we do this podcast. We love connecting with you guys and hearing from you what you're interested in, you're curious about, things along those lines. So, definitely.
A lot of times we would share this at shows.
Right. Right.
And because we don't have shows to do right now.
Right.
It's kind of the only way we can get some of this stuff out there and talk about it. And
sure.
So.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we should wrap this one up.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Till next time.